Welcome back to Horn Dawgs podcast, you fucking pieces of crap.
You pieces of shit. What's up? What's up, what the fuckers? What's up, Wolfpack?
I'm Jonathan Serta Rowell.
I'm Steve Big Hearn, Get Him Again Hernandez. And we have a special guest with us, one of my very best friends. He actually married me. He's got his own podcast called So What Did You Do Last Summer? With Zed Cutsinger.
Close enough.
No, I know what you did. You did something, didn't you?
So you did a thing.
So you did a thing with Zed Cutsinger. Folks, my friend, your friend, Zed Cutsinger. How you doing, Z-Man?
Good. Is that how you phrase it, that I married you?
That is the thing.
Okay, it's a little misleading.
He did this.
I was there. It was very nice.
Yeah.
It was very sweet and funny.
Yeah.
When you say officiated, or?
Oh, yeah. He officiated my wedding.
Okay, because if you say Zed married me, it sounds like...
Yeah, people will think that we're married. You're
Yeah.
right. I didn't even think about that.
Now, do you remember that I was really drunk at the end of the wedding and I was trying to beat you up, Zed?
No.
Okay.
We will post these pics.
We will post these pics, but I actually have them right here to show Zed. So...
You tried to beat me up.
We'll post these. Yeah. So this is me trying to do Muay Thai on you, and this is you saying, and we're gonna post this. This will be right up on the screen.
We don't know how to do that yet.
I will figure out how to do it. Even though, so this is me trying to shin check you, and you trying to tell me no.
Okay.
And then this is me going further, and you kind of recoiling in fright because I'm very drunk. And then this is you.
Yeah.
You were trying to protect yourself, so you started to shin check me, but I'm pouncing on you here. And then this is me fully grabbing you. And then this is you looking very flustered, and now you're not having fun anymore because you're like, this guy who I barely know is coming up to me. And then this is me now fully assaulting you as Zed is pushing my thigh away. By the way, my ass and my thigh look
huge thigh.
Fantastic.
That is a nice thigh. Yeah.
And they're even bigger now. I'm way bigger.
Okay.
And then this is us after we made up.
Oh, okay.
This is, by the way, you phrase this or format it as you like trying to beat me up. It just looks like we were horsing around.
We were,
That was horseplay.
That was horseplay.
But it was horseplay, but it was definitely more on me as the aggressive drunkard.
You were the horse player.
I was the horse player, and you were trying to be like, hey, let's keep it classy. And then I just kept grabbing you.
Also, why did someone take all these pictures during this? What is happening?
Yeah, who's taking the pics?
Katie.
Okay.
Because she was driving me home, and after she's making fun of me, she was like, Zed was like not wanting to play around with you, and you just kept doing it.
One time, like 7 years ago, I was wasted, and someone dropped me off to meet up with him and his wife Honor at Fred 62. And I was drunk, and we're eating, and then afterwards, right next to Los Feliz 3, there's a little street. What's that street?
I don't know the name.
Doesn't matter.
But I just kept chasing Zed, trying to capture him, and Zed was just running away so fast.
Yeah, it's a street just south, parallel of Franklin.
Yeah.
Steve is running after me. It's just something to, I guess, keep in mind with both these. By the way, Steve, do you want to show the pictures of that? Or
No, I don't have those pictures.
Okay. I guess there is something intrinsically irritating and annoying about me, and I think all it takes is a drink or two for people to want to beat my ass.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've always liked you, even though I don't really know you that much. You know why? Because I used to listen to when you guys had a podcast.
Okay.
And I loved how annoying you were to Steve. And that I was like, I like this guy. Like you would interrupt and do bits and be adversarial. And you were just had this like little brother energy to him. And I was like, this guy is cool. Because Steve has a strong personality.
Also, it's funny you say that because there was a certain point where Steve revealed to me that he thought he was the one that was antagonizing me and that he was kind of my adversary. And I was like, no, Steve, that's not the dynamic.
Not at all.
Yeah. Steve, do you kind of see it now? That it's not that way?
No.
You still think...
He would say something and you would literally sigh into the mic. You would be like, yes, Zed.
It's my job with you two specifically, I think, to be the grump. So people like a grump.
Yeah.
And people like, a young upstarts like you poking at the bear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I know that stuff too. Yeah, I know it.
Steve, I think you could have bigger thighs though.
I've got pretty big thighs.
Yeah, but they don't have a lot of muscle mass, and I can
You don't
tell
know.
that. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Let's do some squats after this.
I want to wrap you in my thighs, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I'll shin check you, Steve.
What if you bit down on it?
On your shin?
Oh, you like a little bite down during the
From
beach?
you maybe, but not.
Oh, you don't want it. I'm a vampire. I have big canines. You don't want my teeth on your dick.
Do you
I didn't say on my dick.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about.
I said thigh. I don't want you to bite my dick.
Some guys like that.
Is that true?
I guess.
I thought that's the whole thing is you don't want teeth.
Well, sometimes some guys have said just lightly graze.
Yeah,
you know.
graze.
Now,
Nibble.
one thing you guys got to know about Z-Man: big piece, fat cock.
Notorious.
How old were you when you figured out that you had a big piece, Zed?
I was, I think, 15. There were some girls that I had crushes on, and for some reason, I don't think I've told you the story, Steve.
Ooh.
It was after school, you know, when you're waiting for the pickup or whatever, and you're kind of hanging out. I had a crush on one of them, and for some reason, my penis got brought up, and they wanted to see it. And I was like, I guess I'll show it. And it was like in the back of the school where people lock up their bikes.
Yeah.
And I showed it to them. And that was when I realized I had a big penis.
Were you hard when you showed it to him?
Of
You
course.
must have been, right?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I
you
was not.
weren't?
No.
You weren't excited to show girls your dick?
I would think I was nervous.
Okay.
Because I had never gotten
To
feedback.
me, if I'm going to show it to a girl, I'm going to be hard. I'm going to say, give me a little bit. Yeah. Give me some time right here. But you didn't.
No, and I guess then everyone would talk about that's when the rumors started that I had a big penis.
Did they scream?
No, they exhaled in joy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They
Wow.
shuddered.
But you had to have known
Two
before
girls.
that, like had some idea to have the confidence to be like, yeah, I'm gonna whip out my cock.
I had seen my friends' penises other times.
And you were like, what's wrong with these men?
No, but I felt like mine was around the size of theirs, so I didn't feel like it was small.
Yeah.
I had definitely seen my dad's penis, and oh my god, he had
He had a big one too?
a tangerine-sized penis head, from what I remember.
Oh my God.
But this is
You were
also,
little, yeah.
I was a little,
Yeah.
you know when you cross streams with daddy.
Crossing Streams with Dad. That's the name of his podcast.
Yeah,
Crossing Streams with Daddy.
I love that children's book.
Yeah, so I knew mine was smaller than his, although I hadn't seen it in years, so it felt smaller, but I felt comfortable enough to show it. And then there was this whole thing where there was this period at parties where I would go into a bathroom with a girl and she would see it because they all wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're like an attraction.
And then I did a few tricks with it eventually, but I didn't have the confidence or the self-esteem to ever actually in high school have a girlfriend or kiss a girl. And I'm realizing there was definitely an opportunity to turn that into something romantic besides just being a circus freak sideshow.
Wait a minute, Zed. So you never had sex with any of these women? I mean, these girls when you were a boy?
No.
And they're asking to see your big dick and you're not going forward?
No, I was a loser.
Oh my God. What a crazy missed
I know.
opportunity.
I know.
It's like, why else would they be asking to see your genitals?
I mean, now it's very obvious. But I realized also back then, everyone thought I had a lot of confidence, but it was truly, I didn't have any confidence or self-esteem. I just didn't care about anything.
Whoa.
So I guess that can be perceived as confidence when someone doesn't care, but I didn't have any. I hated myself and I wanted to kill myself. So I was like, yeah, why not show someone my penis? Not oh, I'm so proud of my penis.
Yeah.
It was maybe this is the one part of my body that I can share and people won't laugh at me.
Interesting. Now, how did Steven find out that you have a big penis? Just through the grapevine?
He sent me pictures.
Oh, like me.
And also, I was
Okay.
if you've ever seen his wife, Honor, she's very beautiful. The first time I met them, I was like, who's this model that hangs out with Zed? And I was like, there's no way they're dating. Because, Zed's just a little nerd, and Honor looks like a model. But so then I'm like, this guy must have a fat piece, And you like to think that women aren't shallow like that, but it's not true. They love fat cocks as much as anybody, okay? So, Honor's a good person, but actually this kind of thing makes me doubt that sometimes, is that I know she just goes well, worst comes to worst, my husband has a fat cock. And so that makes me wonder about that sometimes.
Look, a fat cock is very compelling, so I'm on Honor's side. But also, you're underselling Zed. If I didn't know, if you were gay and at a gay club, and of course I would never know what size your dick is just looking at you. I would
Yeah.
totally be like, that guy's cute. I totally would. I'm not just saying
Thank
that
you.
because you're sitting next to me.
Yeah. I mean, the more I know Zed now, obviously, I understand why she's attracted to him and all that stuff.
See,
But
we were already friends at that point.
we were not friends, okay? We would
Yeah.
just talk sometimes after the movies.
No, at that point we had already started a podcast.
No, that's not true. I'm
think it
talking about the
was.
first times I met you and Honor and everything.
But Honor didn't start dating me till after, and then that's
No,
okay.
she was dating you by then.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have photos?
No, I don't have any photos. Also, Zed used to live in a shed.
Photos of what?
So
anything.
guys,
I
so
really
just remember,
pulled out the photos. I don't
Zed
know.
used to live in a shed when he started to date Honor.
The Zed
Beautiful
shed is
model,
what we
like
called
a
it,
Zed
yeah.
shed.
Oh, where was your shed? I used to live in one. Where was yours?
In Frogtown.
Oh, okay. Mine was in Echo Park. Tell me about your shed.
It was behind a house. I guess.
As sheds are.
Yeah. I mean, some people. I don't know. Are your listeners educated?
No. No, this is perfect.
Do they know what sheds are? So it was weird. It was partitioned where if it was a big square, if you were to divide a square into 4 parts, one of the 4 parts was its own room, was a side room, and then the other 3, which would kind of almost make an L, that was the room that I was in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like the okay.
Yes.
So I was in that. The bed was kind of in the one of the squares, and then the other 2 was almost like a hallway, like.
So this was a big shed.
This is a big shed because mine was
It was
very
not big.
small.
This is very small.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
The bed took up an entire third of the room.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then the narrow part was almost skinnier, so they weren't full quarters, but that's why I guess it was more like an L.
Now I was kicked out of my shed after getting into a fist fight with Flacco, the neighbor, who reported me to the city because it wasn't legal to live in there because it's not good for human habitation.
I had a situation, but yeah.
Is that how you got kicked out of your shed? Because that's how I got kicked out of mine.
So at one point, the city actually came and checked, and I had to do this whole thing where I had to like put up my mattress against a wall. I had to take down posters. We had to make it look like a storage room. And during this day or two, I think I stayed actually at Honors.
Yeah.
The reason why I left is
Dark time.
Honor.
Dark time when you're staying at your girl's house to
Yeah.
have the city clear your little room as a storage.
Yeah, and then
Hey, when you got a fat cock, a shed, you can look past it. It's fine.
Well, do you remember, were you ever embarrassed to bring women back to the shed?
No, and this is, I think, one of the problems is one of the first people I brought back. This is when I had a blow-up mattress.
We live the same life. You're just the straight version of me, Zed.
Well, so far, I could become the gay version of it.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Then you would take all the guys from me.
I don't know. We'll see how things turn out with Honor. Yeah, what were you? Oh, yeah. So I had the blow-up mattress.
Yes.
Someone slept over. Okay.
No,
And
no.
then-
I was busy getting dicked down by a huge cock immigrant. Anyways, go on.
Oh, by the way, also your situation was much better because when I needed to use the bathroom, I would just go outside and pee. But the problem is, anytime a woman was over, we would have to go into the house, and it was like kind of more of an ordeal.
That's my situation. I didn't have a bathroom.
I didn't either, but the house did.
Yeah, I had to
So-
go into the bathroom.
Okay.
To the house.
But I would pee outside because I have a penis.
Right.
So I'm imagining if guys came over, it would be much easier because we could both pee outside. But it was so embarrassing when they're like, I have to use the bathroom. All right, let me unlock the house. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, but I have to clean my butt out. So I had to go into the house to clean shit out and then go back out to the shed while I just left everyone in the house in that stink bomb. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so go on.
Oh, so someone sleeps over, and then the next day she was like, hey, you need to get a mattress. Like, that was kind of ridiculous. I'm not willing to come over again if it's the blow-up mattress and all this stuff. And the next day, I ordered a mattress.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was like, I would love for her to come over again because it was a pleasurable experience, I believe, for both of us. But then what ended up happening is she never came over again, and we just never hung out.
And you got stuck with that mattress.
Yeah, but you needed it.
No, but I think that was actually cool. Like, if you are going to have a type of one-night stand, whatever situation, that kind of feedback is helpful.
Absolutely.
Because if she didn't tell me that and just, like, ghosted me, and then I would have started dating Honor and I still had the blow-up mattress, I think I would still be in the shed right now.
Yeah, and especially, were you doing stand-up at the time?
I think I was.
Right, so
Yeah.
you're like a piece of shit comic. I mean, it was the
Yes.
same thing. Yeah, well, I was more diabolical. I would hook up with these like mega hung but old men So I'm making them with their rickety crickety knees and hips like climb onto the air mattress, and I can see them as they get up after the sex. They're like wrecked from just being bent over and on them, and there's no support, you know. But I'm just like a 21-year-old whatever. So,
you know, when people talk about penis, they talk about the size. They're saying, you know, the length, there's the width, but I don't think people talk enough about the angle of it. I don't know if you have a preference when you have sex, but you know, some penises go up, some go straight, some go down or whatever. Yeah. And I'm wondering why people don't bring up more of their type based off of their hole and the angle. And I think
probably
it's the same
because
thing.
Everyone's hole's different and their placement is different.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's based off of your hole. You probably do have a preference, and based off of the penis and your hole, depending on your partner, you might have a preferred position.
Okay, then let's go down. Let's describe our angles. Okay, so my angle when hard, because I've only sent you pictures when flaccid, but when
Thank
hard,
you for that.
When hard, my angle is like curved, like it's slightly curved to the right, but then it also leans slightly like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So it's kind of like this. So it's very like that.
Because there's weight.
The head, there's definitely weight, and so it's like that. So if I want to push it straight, I have to manually do that, right? But it'll always kind of like tilt like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now, what's your angle?
Wait, can I quick follow up?
Yes.
It goes, if you're to the right, you said.
Yeah.
Okay,
it curves slightly, and then it leans in addition to the curve to the right.
So I have a theory about this, and maybe you can help me. Which direction in your pants do you have your penis? To the right, right?
I think it just falls to the right because it.
Okay.
Yeah. But even when flaccid, it kind of, you know what my penis can do flaccid? It can actually exorcist. It can turn all the way around. Like the head can turn all the way around.
I would love for my penis to drop in any direction. To fall at all. It doesn't. It's a nub. Right now, as we were talking, a nub.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you never have it go to the left or right when you get a boner in your pants?
It just goes up. Mine is like a little mini banana, like a mini bananas. I'm sure they're not even called bananas.
They're just called nanas.
No, that's just little ones. Mine's like a little banana.
A nanner. Yeah, you got a little nanner.
Not even the same species of banana. Just those little novelty bananas. Just a little. I'm making it.
Yeah, it's a magnet. It's like a banana magnet you put on your refrigerator. That's the size.
Yeah.
Now, what about your angle?
So mine goes to the left, but my theory is because right now mine is in the left of my pants.
Okay.
You don't want me to show, right?
No.
Okay. So I always have
We can
it to the
smell
left.
it, so.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I should have showered before. But my theory is that the reason why it bones to the left and yours bones to the right is I always have it in the left side of my pants. So when I get a boner, it always goes to the left. And I used to get so many boners in high school that I think over time, I don't know if it's erosion. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's erosion.
It just gets formed because you're still growing. So it gets like formed to the left.
Yes. So my theory is the reason why yours goes to the right is because you always have it in the right of your pants.
Yeah, I probably did. Because I do remember in high school just like getting boners and just feeling it like climb down my leg, and because I was in like
I was just
khakis
thinking
and
about
stuff
you
like
grabbing
that.
that guy's thigh again.
Yeah. Well, also because mine leans though, it helped me when I auditioned for Puppetry of the Penis in Vegas, and I got the job. Remember, very famously.
No, talk about it on the podcast.
Did I not?
No.
I thought okay. Well, I went to. It was 2017. I'm 25, and I need employment, and I see on Craigslist they are searching for Puppetry of the Penis in Vegas. So the rule is you have to send in a full frontal flaccid picture. They're very specific because you can't do these like dick tricks if you're hard. No. So I sent a full frontal in, and then the next day they get back to me and they say, we'll fly you out and we'll put you up at the SLC and we're gonna have you audition. So I go. And
how many people are watching at the audition?
Listen, I get there. It's a Latina Satanist who has a Baphomet tattoo. It's in the Erotic Heritage Museum across from the Trump Tower, right? And she leads me backstage. And
by the penis.
She grabs my penis and she leads me back. And she introduced me to, I thought these were going to be straight men because the originators of the show are straight Australian men. But these were two mega hung faggots. I mean, these gay men had, I don't quite know if I've seen penises this big flaccid, because they were flaccid. They weren't hard around me.
Yeah.
And they did coke and meth backstage in front of me. And then they revealed, this isn't actually an audition. This is the show. The audience is coming in, and we're going to plant you in the audience, and we're going to call someone to want to come on stage and drop trow. And you're going to be a plant. And I was like, oh, that wasn't agreed upon. And they said, oh, you don't need to do it if you don't want to. But I realized, if it's a test, if I couldn't do this, you can't do the show.
Yes.
So
But you're also kind of exploited.
Totally. But by these gay drug addicts.
Okay.
And so I go and I sit, it's filled with women.
Hold on. When you saw, you didn't see their cocks when you first met them.
Yes, because they have a heater and they're warming up their balls and their dicks because
they're in robes.
They're in robes,
okay,
and they're in like cheesy, glittery robes because they reveal to the audience at the beginning.
Yeah. It's Vegas.
It's Vegas, but the trick they were telling me is you need to stay flaccid so you can be a little chubbed because you do want some length, or maximum length, but you don't want to get so chubbed that it starts to get hard.
Yes.
So you do need to be in a warm environment. So they have heaters. So before they're going up, they're like standing in front of heaters. So their dick and balls are expanding as much as they can in a flaccid state. So I saw it and I was like, these men are, I mean, they're just beautiful. The younger one, big penis, but humongous balls. Never seen balls like as big as this. And then the older one, medium-sized balls, but a humongous flaccid cock. It was something that was like undoable. Like I could not.
Now I wonder if they're doing coke and stuff so that they don't get hard.
Maybe.
Right?
But they're also just gay guys. But
also maybe they like to get high.
Yeah, I mean for sure that.
That's.
But if you don't want to get hard in the show,
no,
doing cocaine would be the thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I guess if someone isn't familiar with how penises work, it'd be like a balloon. When someone does a balloon trick, you don't blow it up fully until it's in position. You kind of want to stretch it out. And
everyone understands that.
I don't know your audience. Yeah. They don't know what a shed is.
They don't know
fucking
what penises
stupid.
are.
Okay, there's 75 of the most brilliant people you've ever met in your life.
The movers and shakers.
No, it is as if they were at the Velvet Underground concert.
No, so I'm sitting in the audience and it's filled with women and their boyfriends who do not want to be there. They don't want to be there at all. They're excited. There's a bachelorette party. There's a row. The front row is a middle-aged black woman. It's fantastic. I'm shaking because I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I could leave now. But I was like, no, do this. Because they give you a PDF. And so I spent all week practicing these tricks. And I was asked to come up with an original.
I'm sorry, what's on the PDF?
So there's the classic wrist. You take your soft dick wristwatch, the classic wristwatch.
Show it a little more to the camera.
The classic wristwatch.
You put your dick like as if it is a wristwatch.
Yes.
You wrap it around your.
And then there's the hamburger.
Yeah.
So you put your dick in between both your balls. You spread your balls, and then you turn it on its side, and then clamp your balls down on your dick. So the dick is the patty, and the balls are the buns.
I actually could do that one, but mine is the slider.
And then there's the gonzo, which because of my leaning tower of pizza dick, or Pisa.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting that.
The gonzo requires you to be able to turn your dick upside down and put your balls on top.
Yeah.
And then it looks like Gonzo from the Muppet and his
nose.
So
this is where the guy's big balls came in. Like those kind of tricks were awesome for him, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's so many different types. There was one where the guy got it during the show, got his big balls in his scrotum and he stretched it. And then the other guy got a powerful fan. And then he got on a skateboard. And with just the sail of his huge ball skin... Yeah. He like moved a few inches across the stage.
Julia, let me ask you a question. Do you think there are women that like big balls? Has that ever been talked about amongst your friends?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Now let me ask you.
Wait,
yes.
As a gay man, because gay guys obviously are bigger freaks. They're weirdos.
As I said, we use the whole animal.
Yeah.
Go
on. Are there gay guys that like big balls?
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Do you have an opinion?
I don't really care about the size of the balls.
That's good. That's a normal person opinion.
Yeah, I'm not like whoa, like your balls, but
Yeah.
But anyways, so I had, and then I also planted an original trick. So they do the show. They're horrible at comedy. I'm embarrassed to watch it, but they're very sexy and they have huge cocks and it's great. Okay. And so they call me up. I'm shaking. I go up. Everyone in the audience thinks that I am an audience member.
Yeah.
And they have the Satanist girl is there and she's running the camera. So your genitals are on a big screen, right?
Awesome.
Above the stage.
Yeah.
So then I drop trow and they want me to do it with my ass to the audience first so that I can turn around and surprise.
Reveal.
So you got to show your butt too?
Yeah. And then I looked up and I was like, holy shit, that's such an ugly, hairy ass.
Big, pale ass.
Yeah. And it was just, so then I do the
what was the prompt when they're like, does anyone want to do this? Or
yeah, it was something
we'll
like
give
that.
you some money, or do they say anything like that?
Yeah, they said like, well, they'll give. Oh no, they didn't say money, but they were like, what brave man in the audience can come and have the confidence to do whatever.
Okay.
You know? So then I start out with the hamburger. And I do a perfect burger, and I can actually see it up on the big screen. And I'm looking back, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" The audience is going crazy because they're like, "I can't believe some dude just did this."
Yeah.
Then they asked me to turn back around and then reveal my original.
Yeah.
So what I did is I take my keychain out of my and I'm uncircumcised. I'm uncut, so I get the really tight keychains that. The like little silver things.
Yes.
So I open it up and I stuff my foreskin in between and it pinches. It hurts. But it's so tight on the foreskin that it stays. Yeah. So off of my dick, we're hanging my entire keychain. Yeah. And so I put my hands on my hips and I say into the microphone, "Has anyone here seen my keys?" And then I go a few feet into the audience and I start asking women, "Have you seen my keys?" And they're hanging off my dick and they're going wild.
Oh my god!
And then it's over. I get off stage, and then I get the job, but they want me to understudy, and it's such a low paying job, and I was like, "This is not
understudy.
It's an understudy." I would do the matinees, right? And then.
Damn, like Christine from Phantom of the Opera.
And then they said, "Well, we know the two guys." They were like, "Well, we know you're at the SLC, so maybe we can come over and spit roast your ass." That's what they literally said.
Yeah.
And then one guy took out his meth pipe with the like little whatever rock in it, or maybe it was crack, and shook it in my face. And I got into my rental car and I drove back to the airport. And I went back to LA and I was like, this is like a glimpse into a life that was not my life. But, I did feel like Nomi Malone,
Yeah. I don't know if it's too late, but I thought of a tag that you could say after one of the tricks.
Yeah.
With the burger, you go, "This is good. This is well done."
That's good.
Steve, are you okay with that one?
We'll be right back. And we're back with more Horn Dawgs. Z-Man Zed is a big movie guy. Zed, what do you think is the sexiest scene in all movies?
Ooh, sexiest scene
in
all
good
movies.
Question.
Well, off the top of my head, there's a scene that stands out, but I think this is a controversial scene because some people don't think it's good. History of Violence, the sex scene in that.
You're going to say the sexiest of all movies.
That's a hot sex scene. Okay, describe it.
Well, first of all, you're asking me off the top of my head. So if I had time to like look over movies, whatever, just that's a really extreme one that comes to mind. But yeah, it's a scene where there's a married couple, Viggo Mortensen and I can't remember her name. Right, Cuthbert. What's her name?
Not Cuthbert. It was someone else. It was like an Italian last name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, who is
Nobody
it?
cares.
Okay. So they're having like these marital problems based off of some very serious incidents in this movie. And they kind of have like makeup sort of sex, but it starts out so aggressive and it's on these like wooden stairs. And by the end, they're like fucking like really hard, but it's just so physically intense. But I know some people have seen that movie and they're like, "Oh, I actually think that scene is like not okay." I'm just fucked.
Is that the same scene as where she dresses up as a cheerleader?
That's a different scene.
That's a different scene. Okay, yeah, because that's more fun and role play.
Yeah, that's earlier on in the movie when everything is good and she's like, "Oh, the kids are away.
Yeah.
I have this little outfit," kind of thing.
That's hot. No, that whole movie was hot. Their relation, that was kind of like a real married couple relationship that actually of people who actually still want to fuck each other.
Yeah.
But you know what I liked about that wooden stair scene is they were just getting all their tension out.
Yes.
By fucking each other so hard.
Which is why, you know, some people say sex scenes are unnecessary in movies, and it's like with what you're describing, there is reasons for the characters to do it, and it changes the relationship before and after. So I don't agree. And also, like, personally, I enjoy watching people have sex.
Yes, me too.
Steve?
Unpopular opinion, but
What's your favorite sex scene in a movie, Joe?
same director, different movie. It was the scene in Eastern Promises where Viggo Mortensen is naked and
not
he
a sex
tries.
scene.
It is for me. It's how I have sex. It's where he fends off an assassin from the Russian mob, and he's so naked. And I mean, Viggo Mortensen is a very handsome man, and his little penis, and it was his real little penis. So beautiful. I love a handsome man with a little penis, and
Thank you.
The way that
I appreciate that.
that he fought for his life.
Yes.
And was so like, there was no vanity. It was all just like, here's my old man butt and here's my tiny dick and I'm going to fucking beat these guys. And it was
Sorry, I don't know.
hot. It
His
was
dick-
so hot.
Was his dick small in it?
Well, here's the thing.
He was flaccid, right?
Yes, but he's not just flaccid. It's high and tight up in his body because he's
Fighting.
He's fighting for his life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a combatant.
Yeah, so the dick just went. I mean, it was so unflattering, and I had nothing but respect for Viggo after that.
That's what I do love. I'm going to say this and people are going to think I'm joking, but I do love having sex with a taller, more broad, sturdier built woman.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you just can go to war. Like for me as a bigger guy, I could just let it rip. You know what I mean?
Right? No, that's true.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like climbing a mountain.
No, I'm just a man, mano y mano, to say that, just two forces. I don't know. Like, do you remember the sex scene in Alexander when, what's his name?
Oh, with Rosario Dawson and her beautiful breasts.
Yes. And,
oh my
what's
God.
his name? The Irish guy?
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin
Yeah.
Farrell.
I don't know if I've seen this.
And
It's a terrible movie, but the sex scene is worth it.
She's like a warrior queen, and he's gonna bed her, and she kind of doesn't want to, but they know like she has to unite these kingdoms.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
it's a political thing.
It's a political thing. Like the best sex, it's a political thing. And it's not against her will, but she kind of doesn't want to. So they bare their teeth at each other. They're like,
And she
does
and,
that,
but
yeah.
she's doing it, and she's like, and it's like
Feral?
they're everywhere.
yeah.
They're everywhere.
And so her breasts, and they're like, and then finally he beds her. But that's how I like to have sex.
Oh,
and yeah.
another good sex scene.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? It's on Criterion all the time, but it's that French film, and the English name is Betty Blue.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen the sex scene that it opens on? Where because in French films, a lot of times they are actually having real sex. And these two actors are so beautiful, and they're having just like hot, like steamy South of France screamy sex, and it is it's hot, like, and it opens right away.
Okay. I mean, are we going down? Other
Yeah,
ones? Okay.
my favorite sex scene, and I haven't seen this. I saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
The year was 1992. I was very much a Christian. I think I was in 8th grade. And the funny thing is, I had a woman youth pastor, and I remember I had seen this. It was playing at the West Cove that was near my house, and I had seen this movie somehow. And I asked her, "Would you see? What'd you do last night or whatever?" And she was like, "Oh, I saw a movie." And then she was like, "What's it called?" I was like, "What's it called?" And she's like, "Whispers in the Dark." And I was like, "Oh, I saw that movie too." And then she was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Yeah, it was a lot more sex in it than I thought it was going to be." So it's called Whispers in the Dark.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it since the theater, but I remember there's a sex scene where it has, what's this woman who we just saw in The Sopranos?
Laura Bacall?
No, it might not even be. She is in The Sopranos. I think she's the first Gumar.
Gumar.
Yeah.
What's that chick's name?
Wait, is she the one who says to Camilla that she could have had Tony That's the actress?
No. She is the Gumar. She is the Mercedes dealership, I think.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, whatever.
Are you looking
yeah, I'm looking up one. But have you guys seen God's Own Country?
Hold on, though.
Oh,
this
yes,
scene, though,
I have.
Okay,
I mean, it's being in middle school and stuff like this. Like, he, like, lifts her up. Which, by the way, that's one of a big fallacy in... You figure this out when you're adult. I don't know when you first start having sex with a woman, but you try to lift them up all the time. You're always trying to lift them up while you're having sex,
and against the wall, right?
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
There's a lot of movies.
Yeah,
where that happens.
this specifically, he gets her and he's lifting her. And he's like banging her, like lifting her like that. Which you can do that, but nobody's coming that way. Generally, I've found. Have you ever been lifted up, John?
No. Look, I'm 6 feet and 220 pounds. No one's lifting me up.
So imagine if they did, though. Right?
Imagine. No, one guy slapped my big ass and went, "Damn, you got a big ass.
Yeah.
You could take some big dick." That's what he said. And I went, "Thanks." And it was just very objectifying. It was wonderful. What were you going to say?
Oh, well, Steve, that thing about not having sex that way, the way I found out is that my dad told me.
What'd he say?
We were watching a movie and that was happening, and he goes, "Dad, it doesn't happen. Like, you can't have sex like that." And then I remember there was another movie we saw where that happened, and again he goes, "This is." So I was like, the fact that he brought it up multiple times,
And your mom's small.
yeah.
So if your dad was saying this, then that's really saying something.
Well, it's also saying that he definitely tried it multiple times with multiple women, and he got so discouraged. He's like, "I need to tell my son so he doesn't make the mistakes I did and keep trying this thing." I mentioned God's Own Country, which has like multiple sex scenes. The first one is like two gay guys that are both like, or at least one of them is like homophobic, so it's like it's so physical and like
he's mad that
Yes.
he's doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then there's a more loving relationship that happens in the movie, and it's really interesting because every time they have sex, it becomes more and more tender.
Yeah.
And by the end, you're like, these are like some of the most romantic, sexy sex scenes I've ever seen. There's a lot going on in that movie. But the movie in particular, I guess I was going to say, which has a legendary sex scene, is Don't Look Now from 1973 with Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland.
Oh my God, I need to see that. A Julie Christie sex and Donald Sutherland?
Yeah, there's these rumors
Holy
that they were
shit.
actually having sex and that it like ruined a marriage. There's like all of this Hollywood lore about the sex scene in it, and it is really intense. It's like a married couple, and I think they even do the position at one point where they're kind of like both like sitting on their butt, and that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a word.
They
for
were
that.
sitting on their
Well,
butt?
the
Like-
guy's sitting on the butt, and then the girl's sitting on his lap, kind of. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
facing each other.
They're just kind of like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that actually you were there. It was Steve's bachelor party
Okay, yes.
at Musso and Frank's. That Julie Christie was having a solo woman dinner.
Interesting.
And she was sitting because Bill Burr was there, and
Yes.
they were sitting cross way. But I was telling Alan Strickland Williams, and he probably doesn't remember this because a lot of us were high, but I was like, I think that's Julie Christie, and this woman who I think was Julie Christie would not stop staring at me, and she just had a glass of wine, and she was just in the corner staring at me, and I was like, oh my God, I think this is a movie star, and I don't know for sure, but she didn't know I was gay, but it was a fantasy that I was like, God, it was just,
Would you be willing to have sex with her given the opportunity?
If it was Julie Christie, I would eat her out because I've eaten out like trans men. So I was like, yeah, I would do that just to be like, I'm going to honor you,
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have a list of the women that you'd be willing to have sex with? In the same way, I'm straight, but there are some guys that like given the opportunity, like I know Steve, you know how much I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
If Tom Cruise and me, if that was an opportunity, I would have to take it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Now, hold on. I want to know if you're serious about that.
You don't think his personality would turn you off?
No, I think
Zed, you're being glib. You're
Yes.
get on my
that's how
cock,
I want
Zed.
it. Yes, I would love
Do you
it.
think you would try to have sex if you felt that he was hitting on you? Do you think you would be open to it?
Well, okay, so a part of someone like Tom Cruise being on my list is, I guess, some of the acknowledgement that this is a situation that would actually never really happen.
No.
That's kind of the fun of it.
No,
but-
you don't know though. You don't know
okay.
if it's you and Tom.
Yeah, I would do it.
You guys are at Edendale,
Yeah, no phone reception. Yeah.
I hear your onion rings are great. We'll take 2 orders. Whoa.
Wait, is that Tom or me?
That's Tom.
Okay.
Oh man, these are the best onion rings I've ever had.
Why that's him?
That's my Tom Cruise.
Oh, that's your Tom. I thought that was Zed.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I need
Zed's
the
being
clarification.
wooed. Zed being wooed with the onion rings right now.
Yeah.
This is not a good Tom Cruise.
Oh, Zed, I've heard so much about you. I've listened to many episodes.
This
of
is
your
like
podcast.
Andy Richter.
Julia, do you think that's a decent Tom Cruise?
Not at all.
She's laughing in my face. You know what it's like to have your wife laugh in your face and it's not about your cock? It's very sad.
Yeah. And then he goes, "Hey Zed, how many onion rings do you think you could fit on your cock?"
Yeah, and then Z-Man's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, this is going somewhere.
He's like, he's like, I could call my friend John over if you want a little hamburger with those onion rings.
Yeah. Well, you think that you guys don't like Tom Cruise? You don't like his
I
personality?
wouldn't want to have sex with Tom Cruise.
No, I just wouldn't want to have sex with him. Yeah, he's a little sterile for me. Like I don't get a lot of sexuality from him.
I would rather
You
have
know?
sex with John C. Reilly than Tom Cruise.
Honestly, me too. Kind of like just a big ugly
Yeah.
loaf. Like
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God, have you seen the way Tom Cruise runs? Can you imagine him running through your ass?
Well, the thing is he gives me like little dick energy.
Yes.
And so I think it would be easy for you to take for your first time. You don't
That's
want
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in.
Yeah, you don't want like who do we know has a big cock in the like that guy Jesse Williams?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
You know that guy? He's like a very very handsome black
yeah,
actor.
he comes in my restaurant a lot.
Okay, so
His eyes, by the way, have you seen his eyes?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh my God.
he has a.
Of course.
It is confirmed. He was just on Broadway last year in a revival of Take Me Out, and they all the thing that sells tickets for that play is that all the dudes are naked in it, and they're standing under showers in the locker room in like the 50s. They're like pro baseball players, and the videos came out of him standing there with
think I remember this.
the most giant flaccid dick that you've ever seen, and everyone in the audience is like, what's this play about? Like, no one knows what the fuck the play is about.
Julia grabbed her pregnant stomach when she heard about the big cock.
Yes.
I feel like
As
the
if
dick,
she would get speared with it.
Yes.
the dick is so big it creates new themes.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, oh, this movie's about, or this play is about something else.
Now, along the same vein, I think I've always thought it was hot. I always thought it would be hot to fuck John Travolta when he was getting massages and stuff, because he was assaulting masseuses, right?
Yeah.
You've heard about this, right, John?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I always think like John Travolta kind of like lifting his ass up in the air, like a 55-year-old John Travolta. That to me is hot, where he like wants to get fucked and you're just like you're massaging him, and then his big giant like older like Travolta ass is in the air. That'd be dope to kind of get on top and then just like slide in.
Yeah, he definitely has like a big white old
Yeah,
man ass,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like fat because he's well fed.
Yeah.
And he's always eating well, So
Yeah.
it's buxom.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want the younger Travolta?
No.
No.
Oh my God, he
I
was
want
so
bigger,
hot.
older.
Dude,
To me, the things you are talking about when you're talking about liking this thing, it's like, oh, that's a woman like svelte. To me, if I want svelte, I'll fuck a woman.
but
You
he
want
was
big.
But
and,
he was
beautiful.
beautiful. Like I would.
Yeah, I'd rather fuck a beautiful woman.
Steve,
if
when it
that's
comes
the
to that
case.
ass, I would love to blow out that ass.
No, I always told people, hey, if Travolta, these masseuses, it sucks they got assaulted at work and stuff, but think about
sucks.
all the joy that John Travolta has brought you. Look Who's Talking, Pulp Fiction.
Blowout. I had to bring it. I was like, maybe people don't know that was one of his movies.
Yeah, give him a little. If he's like rubbing your leg or something, rubbing your cock, give it to him.
Wait, wasn't he also in Battlefield Earth?
Yeah. I mean, that's
You
right.
guys don't even want to talk about it.
It's been in like 100
You were so
movies.
sad.
Have you seen Battlefield Earth?
Yes.
It's boring. That's its big sin. To me, it's boring.
That's the big sin of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's boring. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, and I never will.
Boring.
It's just
Yeah.
to me. I mean, I saw it, of course, like 20. I didn't see it when it came out. I wasn't even aware of it. But the production is just so bad that and the wigs. John Travolta's like in like dreads.
It
But
looks
in,
like the Predator.
Yeah, it's like alien dreads. Yeah.
Now, Zed's talked to me recently. I'm not going to say anything crazy, Zed, so don't get worried. But he's talked to me. We took a long ride home from San Francisco recently. And he talked to me about sometimes that he gets so horny, so
Which
uncontrollably.
Steve, don't say it.
So uncontrollably horny that he'll have to talk to his wife, has to call his wife. Yeah, like I mean that he gets so horny that he goes 2 or 3 days that he's just like driven mad. This is you're only 37 years old.
I'm 39.
39 years old.
But a young 39.
Yeah, but I mean middle school horny.
Yeah.
That he's pushed to his limits.
Okay.
I think on this particular trip he hadn't seen his wife in 5 days. Pushed to the max.
His wife is very beautiful.
Of course, but that's not what this is about. This is a pure, utter horniness that I've never heard like a grown person.
So can we reenact this phone call?
No. I want him to talk to
my wife and
Zed,
I?
talk to me about.
Okay,
No.
well-
First, let's get to that. But I want you to talk about this horniness.
Okay, when
that
you
drives
guys are that horny, like to me, it's almost like a hunger.
Yeah.
Where when you're really hungry, like I have to eat.
Yeah.
When I'm not horny, I'm like I have to like ejaculate.
Yes.
And when you're that hungry, all you can think about is the meal. You're like, I need to eat. Or if you're thirsty, when I'm that horny, it's just like everything I see. You know, in cartoons, when someone's really hungry and the person looks like a turkey
Turns into a ham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm horny, it's like all I'm seeing is everyone. You know, it's the pure objectification. It's like everything is sex and it's all this stuff, and it ain't right. Like I feel like I'm diseased.
So if you were
Like-
horny right now and I was talking, kind of boring you and everything, would my mouth just turn into a vagina?
your mouth would turn into a pussy.
It would just turn into a pussy, and it would just me being like, and the more, the wetter it would get, and you would just be,
Yeah.
He's just licking his
he's
lips.
ready to assault.
He's licking his lips.
I'm licking my lips and then rubbing my fingers with them and then rubbing that wet finger all over my pee.
Wow. So then you're shaking and you're calling honor. You're just dialing and you're calling honor.
He had
Okay.
led the way and I didn't ask specifically, but I'm going to ask specifically on the podcast. This happens sometimes. Has happened more than 5 times.
Where we've like been separated and I start getting really horny.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually happened more than 5 times because neither of us has really gone. What's the word? Have left town without the other person for extended periods. It's only happened a few times, but yeah, every time I just start getting so horny, and I shouldn't. Maybe this is hopefully Honor's not listening. Every time I've cheated on her.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Whoa. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
No. It just it sucks. Like, but I think what happened when I was younger.
Hold on. So
Yeah.
when you have called her, are you FaceTiming her? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, baby. Baby, I'm so horny right now.
And so,
And what is she saying?
does she like? Does this make her laugh?
I mean, I think it makes her laugh, but also I think it turns her on.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope so.
Hell yeah.
And so
Yeah.
she's just like looking at you, and then you're jaying off on your phone.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll leave a little mystery.
That's good. That means you guys have a good relationship. Because imagine if your wife is like, "Oh, you're horny. What do you want me to do about it?" Like that.
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
flippant
I have a theory.
rejection.
Right before I came over here, and Honor, I hope you don't get mad. at me.
Came over here.
I had sex with Honor like the minute we were done. I like got in the car.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, Honor, did you do this so you know I was doing this like horny, sexy podcast? So you wanted me to just go in like completely
Dry.
so
Yeah,
I wouldn't
bone
say
dry.
Yeah, I'm not horny and I'm looking over at Jonathan and I
his
start
pussy
seeing
mouth.
his pussy lips. His lips become pussy lips. Yeah, so I
That's
don't
what
know.
they used to call me in high school.
Was pussy lips?
Pussy lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird because my lips don't look anything like a pussy, but
Well,
they felt like it.
I thought they called
apparently.
you pussy butt.
Well, they say that's your bussy, bitch. That's
no,
what they would
pussy
say.
butt.
Wait,
Yeah.
A PB and J is that pussy button jizz?
Pussy button.
I don't know.
Do you want? Is that how you say to Honor? Want me to make you a PB and J?
Pussy button jizz. I guess it depends on how horny she is. But Steve, the way like when I was talking about this, it
Yeah.
almost seemed like this isn't an experience you have, Jonathan. It seems like you kind of can understand.
He's a degenerate.
But when you get hungry,
Yeah.
when you're horny, it is like hunger, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure, I will say,
Yes.
and maybe it's just because I just don't. I guess I just don't have that kind of hunger. I guess I have enough sex, or when I want to have sex now. This is what I was telling Zed on the ride home. Is it's more about connection to me, that I want to be close to someone, and everything like that. But it's never like I don't have that kind of hunger where because your horniness seems like it's separate from everything.
I mean, it's separate, but it's like ingrained in it. But yeah, like
But you're
after
not
I
like
come,
horny for your wife per se. You're just horny, like a hunger. Like you have this need that needs to be met.
Yeah, but
I don't have that need that needs to be met like that anymore.
I guess
I don't know if I ever did. It seemed that, I mean, we're talking, we're on the grapevine. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we're talking.
It's
the
2:30 in the morning, 3 a.m. We're driving. I heard it on the grapevine, and he's talking to me like this.
Do you know the song?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right, and he's talking to me like this, and I was just like, I just don't think it. To me, it sounds like a junior high boy. Which, if you're married to this, I guess that's what you want your husband to be, horny for you like a junior high boy. Yeah. But to me, I'm just like, I don't think I've ever be able to relate to that idea of being horny like that in and of itself.
I relate to it. Can be consuming. Sometimes when I know there's no time for sex, I'll be so horny, I'll just drop my pants and my hands are legitimately shaking as I like go for my junk and start to like masturbate, and it's like
do you think maybe this could be epilepsy?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's a vigorous, and then the orgasm is like intense because it was like this built up pressure. It was almost like a, when you like really need to take a shit or piss or whatever, but it's like it feels good, you know, and it's like I'm gonna lose it right now if I don't, but that's more when I'm like cock horny.
Yes.
If I'm ass horny, then I turn more into kind of like a cat in heat,
Okay, a freak without warning.
Yes. Right. Yes, yeah, where I'm just like in alleys screaming and wailing
late at night,
yeah.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Yes,
ass horny means you just want to get fucked.
When you just want to be fucking degraded,
annihilated.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you just become this kind of like pathetic little sex kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I think if Honor ever breaks up with me, I think you guys need to like put me down.
Just shoot you.
Yeah.
Come here, boy.
When I have someone in my life that I can share,
I'll lure you over with a movie.
Yes.
Oh, check this out! Look at this movie we're gonna watch. Jonathan walks out and just blows your head off.
You would have wanted it this way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying it for the record.
He's just watching the Criterion Channel, eating popcorn, and Jonathan just blows
my brains out. Yeah, that actually does feel like a Cronenberg scene.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, please kill me. Because anytime I'm single, it's like, when you think about how hot and humid DC is, and you're like, how does anyone get laws done when, like, how do they get anything accomplished when it's like that outside? Imagine if you're perpetually like that, where you're just out of your mind and you're crazed.
Now, I've always known Zed.
It does take up a lot of time.
He has been with Honor. So I don't know him outside of Honor. But when he talks sometimes about living in New York or being single, it feels sad. You seem sad. You were desperate.
Why? That seems cool.
No, but the way he says it, he was confused and desperate, looking for love. It seems like you were always looking for love, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would open up my heart, but, people... Thank you.
They just
but the thing is, not every actually Honor got initially kind of scared away by it because I am so much myself. I'm so honest. Everyone plays this like kind of games courting thing in the beginning. So when you don't do that, sometimes people are like, "Oh, these are like red flags. You need to play by the rules."
Because it seems like you're desperate, but you're not desperate. You just know what you want.
Yeah. There's definitely been situations where someone has come over, I have a blow up mattress, and they never want to come over again. But then
you were like that with other girls where you laid it on the table and they were like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, I mean,
and Honor initially was scared too. She didn't want any part of it at first either, right?
Yeah, but I did have a real mattress.
But how did you woo her? Was it all the movie talk?
I wasn't. The funny thing is, I wasn't even that much into movies then.
Okay.
I guess what was I into? Magic cards, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm starting to see where. Yeah. So you met Honor at what point? Like 20.
2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah, we officially got together in March of 2015.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we met on Tinder. We went on a date, and then we went on a second date, and they went so well. But I think she was kind of scared away because she actually felt strong feelings for me, and she wasn't ready to tap into those.
Yeah.
So she said that she's like, "Do you want to just be friends?"
Oh,
and I said, and this, I think when I was younger, I would have said yes because I didn't want to let someone go if I liked them.
Right.
And I would be okay with just being in a relationship where I'm friends with them, but I like them. And every time I had done that, it was just so bad because like I wanted to be romantic with them, and sometimes things would happen, and then it was like, maybe we shouldn't, you know what I mean? That,
Yes, yeah.
But at that point, for whatever reason, I respected myself enough where my response was, no, I don't want to be friends with you. And so then we didn't see each other for months until we went on another date. And then
So she messaged you again, or she texted you at some point.
we met again. We matched again on Tinder.
Oh, so
Oh,
you saw her
hell
again
yeah.
6 months later or something, 4
Yeah.
months later, and you slid yes, and then she
Yeah.
slid yes again?
Yeah, because I was like, I like her. I just don't want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, when I came up in her feed, she was kind of like, oh, maybe I did like him. Maybe I'll give him another chance. We have a mutual friend that was actually kind of being like, why did you do this with him? Niraj.
Yeah.
He was like, he seems like a good guy. Little did he know
Yeah.
that I was this
About
monster.
that horny demon monster.
Yeah, so that happened, and initially I guess I charmed her with things other than movies, and then eventually I became fanatical about movies, and I think I'm kind of like Tom Cruise with how clinical I am.
Yeah, you have very strong opinions about movies.
Yeah.
Very, very strong opinions. What are some controversial opinions that you have about movies that people have fought you on that you can remember?
I mean, the one that I think people get kind of mad about is that Shawshank Redemption is like the most overrated movie of all time. People have a strong connection with that movie, and maybe you do, but it's all right.
Huh.
It's
I wonder.
fine.
I
I think
wonder.
Forrest Gump could compete for the most overrated.
But you know, people don't. I would say men are very passionate about Shawshank Redemption.
It's
Yes.
embarrassing.
Yeah, like men, like all stripes and whatever. But like, yeah, just dumb, normal guys that love football. People like, it's their favorite movie, Shawshank Redemption. People don't really say that about Forrest Gump. And so
No.
when I'm listening to him, because I do think Shawshank Redemption is a good movie.
Yeah,
But if you're saying the most overrated, if it's like so many guys' favorite movie, then I probably have to agree.
Yeah, but thank you, Steve.
But I do like all that the male man-on-man assault stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the movie had more of that,
Yeah.
it could be a contender.
And show it to us. You know what I mean? It was rated R, so show it to
yeah,
us.
we want to be underneath. We want to see the balls and the gooch, and we want to
Yeah.
see the blood.
Yeah.
We want to see everything.
Show me the gooch. Show me the blood. Merch.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to-
Steve is constantly trying to make merch happen, even though we have 100 listeners. An
Show me the
episode.
gooch.
Also, by the way,
With
that was
Tom
Steve.
Cruise's face.
I was just saying.
Show
That's a
me
good one.
the gooch.
I was saying he's doing his Tom Cruise impersonation. You might have missed it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have other ones off the top of my head that are.
That's good. We don't have a ton of time left anyway.
You don't want me to go
so-
through my top 100 most
Yeah.
incendiary movie opinions, Steve?
Yeah. Do some more movie opinions that people get mad at you about.
No, we're almost out of time.
No, we decide the time.
No,
Steve.
we don't.
Yes, we
I also
do.
don't like people being mad at me, so I've kind of learned to keep those inside.
Well, I what do you guys, this isn't a movie thing, but I was recently listening to a podcast, and a comedian, Joe List from New York, said,
Also, notoriously big cock.
really?
Yes.
He said that The Sopranos is not a good show.
And he's seen it?
Yes.
He doesn't like TV. You can't talk to him about
You
TV.
don't like TV?
No, it's just
I don't.
movies.
It's not. I don't. It's just not something I go into. But
He hasn't. See.
Okay, so you haven't seen The Sopranos.
I've seen enough of it to, and I know
When
that people
Honor's
love it.
watching it. He'll be watching a movie and then like with headphones on and then like turn and watch a little bit. So yeah, that's what we're talking
Okay,
about.
so
But
you,
the thing-
That's
you
what
want
we're
a
dealing with
beginning
here.
and an end and
Yeah.
a
Well,
yeah, no.
the thing about that show in
Yeah.
particular, which is interesting, it's David. What's the
Lynch.
No, the guy who did Sopranos.
Chase.
David Chase.
David Chase, yeah.
The reason why he did The Sopranos is because he wanted to make a movie and he couldn't make the movie, so he did the TV version of it. And I think the reason why The Sopranos is such a great TV show is because the whole time the guy who was doing it, he wanted to be making a movie.
I think what he's better at long-winded storytelling, so he's just better in an episodic format.
I have a
you
metaphor
know?
for you.
What?
Have you guys seen Happy Gilmore?
Yes.
No, actually,
Well-
I've never seen it.
Okay, well, you got to see it. But the whole thing is that he wants to be a hockey player, but he ends up playing golf. And even though he's not very good at hockey, he ends
Yeah.
up being an incredible golfer by the end of the movie. And this is almost like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, you should be golfing.
Yeah.
Even though like your passion is hockey, you're just not very good at it.
That's like me, how I'm not that great at being a bar manager, but I'm an incredible stand-up. But I wish I could be a better bar manager.
Well, you need to be more likable. Zed, I do need to ask you this: when did you Well, did you take a step away from comedy to like go more towards other things? And what was the decision behind that?
So you saw me doing a lot of stand up, and then you just saw me not doing it. What happened?
And then I just heard you on. That's where I was like, oh, he's doing podcasts now.
Yeah. So I was doing a lot of stand up, and then what happened was I got put on one of the house teams at UCB for Mod, which is their sketch.
Yeah.
And because I had a full-time job, I realized I couldn't be doing stand-up as much as I wanted to be doing and be doing this this sketch, whatever writing thing.
Yeah.
So I took like a sabbatical or whatever to just stop doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And then eventually I wasn't doing the UCB thing. And and that was around the time everything shut down.
Oh, okay.
And leading up to the wedding. I think this is kind of the timeline. And now coming out of it, I'm just a little uncertain what I want to be doing exactly. I still love comedy, and there's actually an idea that I've been working on with a comedian, and well, maybe we're going to make some shorts out of it and stuff, but I'm still funny.
You're very funny. What would you say, sketch comedians and stand-ups, which one would you say is the most fucked up and depraved group of people to be around?
I think stand-ups, I think the issue with a lot of the sketch people is they feel very much like, they feel very collegiate. It feels like a lot of people.
ASB.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people who graduated college, and this is like, I don't know, there's just this very like nerdy aspect to it.
Yeah.
Where stand-ups, you get more weirdos that kind of find their way into it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's harder with and improv and sketch because like you usually have to spend so much money and time doing it. Whereas stand-up, you can still spend all that money, but it's like anyone can go to an open mic and do it.
Right.
But you need a computer probably to write sketches and stuff.
Yeah.
So it just feels more like formal or clinical and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's also, I have this whole like theory about when something happens, kind of the trickle down of the time. Like when something happens in the news, I think within a day or two, people at open mics are kind of like touching on it.
Yeah.
And I think with sketch and whatever, sometimes it takes like 3 or 6 months because they almost need to have like a really rounded, well opinion about it that you can't have as a knee jerk.
Yeah.
But I think stand up sometimes you almost, obviously things can be more thought out. I've seen Steve do stand up, very thoughtful.
Meh.
But yeah, I think sometimes you just want that, like get on the mic and like you want to work it out.
Yeah.
But in sketches, you don't really want to be working it out. You kind of already want to be at the point where you've been doing this stand up thing for like, I don't know, 3 months.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. The sketch thing, though, it seems like Steve is in such a bad mood.
I mean, I can't believe we're talking about this.
About comedy?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need
when you are in a bad mood, you fill the room with negativity.
We're the Horn Dawgs, okay?
Sweet Zed was telling us about
We're the Horn Dawgs.
Stand up versus sketch.
Yes,
something that we've never heard about before.
These people have heard this talk before. Trust me.
I've heard the criticism more in improv and sketch where people are like, "This is too blue." People kept using this phrase "blue," which I don't hear as much in stand up. And I think I don't know if
definitely not with us.
I will tell you, what's interesting is I got to see, being friends with Zed, I got to meet a bunch of very high level sketch improv people and going to see his shows. And if you don't like improv or sketch or whatever, you're just thinking of Saturday Night Live. Because to see the at the level they were performing, a lot of it was like more blue and was very funny, and like they were cursing and they were very smart. So everyone, that's what's crazy about sketches. The pinnacle for sketch is SNL, and it's like one of the worst versions of the shit.
Yeah, but sketch, I think one thing I've realized, maybe I made a mistake in doing stand-up in the first place, just because sketch is much more versatile. You can take it into writing. You can take it into acting. It naturally gives you a lot of skills that I think stand-ups don't have. Stand-ups were just these like weird like people traveling around to different bars. What are some of the skills
you're talking about?
Like writing a scene, formatting, working with others.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. Also being present, listening on stage.
Yeah.
It's all like sketch. That's why like the most successful comedians, most of them come from sketch. It's rare when you get like a stand-up. And when it is a stand-up, they're usually very fucked up. All our best stand-ups are fucked up guys.
Well,
you
also
know?
a lot of the I think successful stand-ups that go into writing, they might not even be good stand-ups because maybe they're not good at the delivery, but they have such great ideas that you might not even be like, oh, that person was a good stand-up because of the delivery is such a big part of it.
Right.
Whereas with sketch, a lot of the actors, it's like, well, if you're bad at performing, then you're just going to be not good at sketch.
Zed, thank you so much for coming on.
That's where we're gonna end it.
Yes, we should have ended a while ago. It's long.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm not making this stuff up. The cameras are telling us all the things with the timestamps.
Is this true, Julia? God damn it! I hate when Steve is right.
Hey,
Sorry.
how do you think she feels, poor thing?
I know.
She's been married to me, and every time I'm always having to teach her lessons and stuff. You think I like that?
What kind of? But before we go out, what kind of uncle do you aspire to be for this kid?
Positive.
He wants to be a
positive
positive
force.
uncle. Yeah. And I'll be the HIV positive uncle. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, tell your friends, rate us, subscribe, Apple, YouTube, Spotify. Just do it, please. God damn it. We're trying to crack the 89. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.